Since then... Once the rest of the men returned, there was a meeting among the captains. The subject of the meeting was the three men at Nijo Castle, Chikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, and Kyo Shiranui. They called themselves Demon, and their previous encounters with the Shinsengumi suggested they were somehow involved with the Satsuma and Choshu. The Satsuma were the most powerful domain in the opposition domain, and the Choshu was publicly expressive of their dissent towards the shogunate. The Choshu were essentially enemies of the court. I don't know how the three men are supposedly affiliated with the domains, but it was abundantly clear they are not to be dealt with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why had they come for me? Yes, the mean guys. They said I was one of them, and knew about my family name and my kodachi. I can only date one of them, and I already did that route, and I think he's the worst route. My name is Chizuru Yukimura. I am the daughter of my father and my mother. You can see the results of that route on the channel, damn it. I am a normal girl, nothing out of the ordinary. But who am I? There's so many routes. Alright. Oh! I know what this scene is. Right, we're skipping Ito. It's the girl from Ace Attorney! We're here for some beefcake. I could hear loud voices from inside. Yeah, we're not skipping it this time. We're gonna enjoy this. Or I will. The scene froze me in place.
Yoshi. 次の人.
Oh, 俺の番だな。一丁頼みます先生。ふっ。どうすか。剣術一筋で鍛えに鍛えたこの体。
新八さんの場合、体は頑丈だもん。見てもらうのは頭の方だよな。
ああ？余計なこと言ってると締めるぞ、ヘスケ。
うん、長倉新八と。よし、問題ない。次。
先生、もっとちゃんと見てくれよ。
いやいや、申し分ない健康体だ。
新八、後ろが使えてるんだからさっさと終わらせろって。
そうじゃなくってよ、もっと他に見るところがあんだろ。鍛え抜かれた鋼のようなこの筋肉とか、仁王像みたいに屈強そうな体型とか。
診察は見てもらうものであって見せつけるものではない。さっさとどけ。
It wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. That is one of my favorite scenes.
雪村君、こんなところでどうかしたの？
進む! We're skipping, unfortunately. How many of these answers is yes, please, actually? Shit. I think every time we've done this, it's been yes, please. What the f... Yamazaki, please go get the dear doctor for us. Oh, we're skipping. More skipping. As much as I want to see Takeda suffer, we have to skip it. That's just one of my favorite lines of Heisuke's. Scared by a rat. No, right. This is none of my business, apparently. No! Please go away, Kazuma. Do not set the chat on fire! And our thoughts are my father, apparently. I haven't chosen that one yet. What had become of my father? Did my father really betray the Shogun? I thought he was working for the Shogun. And how was Kazuma so familiar with my father? The more I thought about it, the more I realized just how little I actually knew.
まあ別に尊攘派って言っても全員が全員長州浪士みたいな奴らじゃねえしさ。そもそもあの風間ってやつが本当のことを言ってるとも限らねえだろ。もしかしたらお前の動揺を誘うために言ってるのかもしれねえし。
そうだな。裏を取らねえ情報を鵜呑みにするのは危険だぜ。
I suppose.
行動さん探しには観察型も動いている。いずれまた情報も入るだろう。
Thank you. I hadn't really expected any of them to be so nice to me. It was a pleasant surprise. The only reason they allowed me to stay was because I was my father's daughter. That hadn't changed. But...
とりあえず行動さんが生きてるってことが分かっただけでもよかったじゃねえか。なんか分かったら俺たちもすぐ教えるからさ。無理すんなよ。
Skin jump scare. Of course. Thank you. Their words, Heisuke's especially, brightened my spirits just a bit. The good boy! From then on, Matsumoto-sensei visited the compound regularly to check up on the men of the Shinsengumi. Ever since Sanan-san had become the leader of the Furies, the group was named as the Fury Corps. Still, I couldn't help but wonder, was it really alright to continue researching the Furies? My heart was heavy with worry. Without him, the Shinsengumi would be nothing. We would cease to exist. If so, why? Heisuke is the hyper boy, I suppose. Lucy, you have made enemies with the Nightbot. The Hamaguri Rebellion had created an even deeper rift between the Shogunate and the Choshu. The Shogunate was planning an expedition to punish the Choshu with military force. Thanks to the Choshu's retreat, the casualty count wasn't very large, but... 2 years had passed since the Choshu expedition, and it was now September of 1866. The Shogunate was planning a second offensive against the Choshu, gathering many soldiers to join the envoy.
ということで、
Oh, this is new. I've never seen this before.
俺が軍を視察してきたところ、幕府側の兵力は十分のようだ。少なくとも長州の兵力を大きく上回っているのは間違いない。
Lucy.
そりゃあ戦をするなら兵が多いに越したことはねえが、かといって数だけ多くても仕方ねえ。今回の戦には不満なやつも多いんだろう。
嘆かわしいことに兵の士気は高くないようだった。それが弱点にならなければいいのだが。
Although the summer was drawing to a close, the intense heat made us moist with sweat. I brought tea to Hijikata-san's room, and I was listening to Kondo-san, who had just returned from accompanying and observing the expedition. Will the men of the Shinsengumi join the battle this time?
俺たちの役割は 今日の治安警護だ。今日を離れて戦をするのは他の奴らの仕事だとよ。
残念な話ですよね。手柄を立てるいい機会なのに。
もう来た。
そう流行らなくていい。機会なんざこれからいくらでもある。
As opposed to Okita, who seemed bummed about not having to fight, I was a little relieved. I was sure that if I said this aloud, everyone would be angry with me, but being involved in a huge war seemed like the easiest way to get everyone injured.
ともかく近日中にもどこかで衝突が起きることは間違いない。何かあればお呼びがかかるだろうし、心構えだけはしておくべきだろう。
As you said that, Kondo-san lit up as if he just remembered something.
おお、そういえばその際にいろいろと見てきたのだが、幕府の陸軍隊を視察している途中で相馬くんとばったり再会したんだ。
Shogunate Army, a troop organized by the shogunate that employs the use of guns. That is a description, alright. Wait, the Soma? Our dense boy?
誰ですかそれ。そんなの知り合いにいましたっけ？
Well, the Shinsengumi is a group under the shogunate, so yes. Do you remember the person who Heisuke brought over and argued with about the woodblock print?
はあ、いたねそんなのも。印象薄いから覚えてなかったけど。
I don't fucking believe a word you say, Okita. We had met Soma a long while ago while I was accompanying Harada on a round.
細くて柔らかくて、これではまるで女子のようだぞ。
Ah, yes, the dense moment.
やはり雪村さんはもう少し体を鍛えた方がいいと思うな。
He had looked me straight in the eye, promising to work hard with me to become a great warrior. But I thought he'd return to his domain. But why was Soma with the Shogunate army? I thought he was serving some other domain.
脱藩したってことだろう。あいつ自分の藩に不満があったみてえだが、バカなやつだ。自分から侍を捨てるなんてよ。
Hearing Hijikata-san, Kondo-san rushed to clarify.
それは違うぞ、トシ。
Ooh, Kondo is there to defend our boy Soma.
いくら自分の藩に不満があろうとも、脱藩を選ぶことのできる人間は少ない。道を変えるには大きな決意がいるものだ。相馬くんは言っていたよ。自分の藩は幕府のために戦おうという気概がない。だからこそ自分は去ったのだと。今時なかなか見どころのある若者じゃないか。
剣の腕は大したことなさそうですけどね。平助たちの話だと浪人に殴られて倒されたらしいし。
Oh, you claim you don't remember, but you remember this part, Okita?
お前の基準で言ったら、ここにいる奴らの半分は大したことないってことになっちまうだろうが。
That is also true.
で、近藤さん、相馬はその後どうしたんだ？
立派な志の若者だったし、改めて新選組に誘ってみたよ。幕府に仕えるという意味では陸軍隊も新選組も変わらない。君さえ良ければ新選組に来てはどうかと。
And what was his response?
残念ながら悩んでいる様子だった。まあ目前に戦も迫っているからな。まずは長州を倒してからということだろう。
長州を倒すか。そううまくいきゃいいがな。
as if to justify Hijikata-san's worry. The second expedition resulted in a shogunate loss. The loss was the confluence of a few things. During the war, Iemochi Tokugawa passed away, confusing the shogunate's chain of command. The Choshu, too, were armed with advanced artillery, causing a huge gap between them and the shogunate in terms of arms and strategy. Soldiers grew wary from the battlefield, as well as from the commotion of their higher command. The shogunate, who were normally tasked with maintaining power, was disintegrating. It was a dark omen emerging like a cloud over the shogunate's uncertain future. Confluence is indeed a word. And if I said that right, hooray! Because if you haven't been here long enough, I can't English. Or more so, I can't read. With the second expedition coming to a close, the summer had come to an end. Yamazaki was helping me complete some errands, and we took some time to rest. Ooh, Yamazaki scene. Thank you so much for helping me with the cooking and laundry, Yamazaki.
別に大した手間でもない。それより、なぜ君が食事の準備を一人でやっていたんだ。今日は確か他にも当番の者がいたはずだが。
Oh, the people who were supposed to do the food prep today wanted to join Ito's seminar.
伊藤さんか。
Ah, even Yamazaki doesn't like Ito. Yamazaki sighed lightly and scratched his cheek. I could understand how he was probably feeling. It seemed like Ito and his supporters weren't following the rules and regulations well recently. As Nagakura would put it, they are seeding friction within the organization, which no one seemed too thrilled about.
この分では勉強会とやらも何を話しているか知れたものではないな。
I guess they're supposed to be talking about the Choshu expedition and everything that's happened. Despite gathering warriors from all over the domains, the shogunate wasn't able to defeat the Choshu domain. He cut me off suddenly and I stood there confused. Is something the matter, Yamazaki?
視線を動かさずに聞いてくれ。豚書の入り口から中を伺っている者がいる。
What? Yamazaki's line of vision seemed casual, but I saw him looking behind me. I couldn't see the location myself, but I did get the sense someone was there. Do you think they look threatening?
老子風の男だ。先ほどからうろうろと同じところばかり回っている。
I have a feeling I know who it is. Let's see if I'm right.
患者の類か、それとも。
Yamazaki was swift. I thought I saw him place his hand inside his pocket, but suddenly he kicked the floor and ran. Ah, I know that voice.
どこの手の者だ。所属と名を名乗れ。
Before I'd even blink, Yamazaki had already twisted the man's arm behind him and pointed his wakizashi towards him.
誤解だ。俺はただここが本当に新選組の当初か確認しようと。
It is our dunce boy, Souma! Souma? His voice was stammering, but his face was familiar. When Souma's eyes caught mine, his face lit with excitement.
雪村さん
What are you doing here?
雪村君、知り合いか。
Kondo-san knows him as well. He's not a bad person.
客人だったか。手荒な真似をしてすまなかった。
Yamazaki let him go, and Souma finally sighed.
いや、疑われるような真似をした俺にも落ち度があった。
But why were you walking back and forth in front of the headquarters? If you had approached us, we could have easily helped you find where you needed to be.
いや、まさか新選組がこんなところに豚書を変えたなんて思ってもいなかったから。それに今の俺はその。
Eh? Souma started as if troubled by something, and soon he muttered himself into silence. I wondered if something had happened. Anyways, we'll lead you down to compound so that you can visit Kondo-san yourself. I think the word "the" is missing in this sentence. I'm sure the captains will be delighted to see you.